Last week, I finally got access to Google DeepMind's Gemini 1.5 Pro model. About a month ago, Google DeepMind released their next generation model called Gemini 1.5. And I did a video back then to unpack the model for you guys in terms of the capabilities and some of the technical stuff behind the model. So today, what I want to do is, now that I have access to it, I had it for about a week and I've been playing around with it. So today, I'm going to take it for a test drive to show you guys how well it does. And the spoiler is, it does really well. And so first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight for you what's one of the biggest thing about this model is that it has a context window of 1 million up to 1,048,576 tokens. Essentially, what does that mean? We can load either files or documents, etc. And actually, we could load a whole lot of them, and it can take up to 1 million tokens as an input, whether it's text, documents, etc. So first thing I want to do is load 4 documents, and we'll ask some questions of those 4 documents. And these 4 documents are basically earnings call scripts from 4 of the largest banks here in the U.S. And these 4 documents take up a total of 89,000 tokens of the possible million tokens, right? So it's not even 1/10 of what we could load. So let me first get going with the question here, or the prompt. And I'll tell you in a second why I'm doing that. Provide a summary of the key themes and highlights each of the documents. All right. The reason I'm doing that is one of the facts that Google DeepMind has pointed out with Gemini 1.5 Pro is that the latency issue. We're already up to almost 15 seconds here, and we only took up 1/10 at most, 1/10 of the size of the window, right? And we're up to 20 seconds here, and it's going to take about 40 seconds for sure. So let me show you something. It's something they acknowledge up front, which is always good, and it is right here. It says, as we roll out the full 1 million token context window, we are actively working on optimizations to improve latency, reduce computational requirements, and enhance the user experience. So that's why I wanted to throw the prompt there first, because I knew it was going to take a while. It takes about 40 seconds to go through those 4 documents. But now that we have the output, the answer to our prompt, this output is as good as GPT-4 Turbo. GPT-4 Turbo, in my opinion, is the state-of-the-art model out there, in a large language model out there. And this Gemini 1.5 Pro is producing outputs, and I've been doing it for the last few days, just as good, while being considerably smaller in size. Gemini 1.5 Pro is considerably smaller than GPT-4, and the output here is just as good as GPT-4, and much better than Gemini 1, much better than GPT 3.5 Turbo. Yeah, so what we did was we loaded 4 documents. So it says, hey, basically, these are earnings call of 4 major banks: BofA, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, etc. And since I said, give me themes and highlights, first it goes through all 4 documents. It does a really nice job in finding things that are sort of common across all 4 banks, and all banks acknowledge, etc. Then takes each bank and highlights some of the key themes from each of the banks. Fantastic job. GPT-4 Turbo is similar. It does a nice job like this. Here's the litmus test for me. If I gave someone, a fairly intelligent person, 4 of these documents and said, hey, why don't you go through it and give me the key themes and highlights from each of the banks, etc. Likelihood that it's going to be this good, at least from my perspective and my experience, it's probably not. And definitely not going to do it in, like, let's say, less than a minute, right? So there you go. All right, let's try out another thing here. Now, before I do that, I actually have another prompt I want to try here to show you something else. So I want to say provide the key financial data for both banks, for all four of these banks side by side in a table format. So these four documents that I uploaded, it's actually almost all of it is just text. There's really no charts and graphs and stuff like that because it's an earnings call script. But it will in this case need to go read through all of it and find the key financial data and create a table out of it. So it's got to be able to reason through things. 20 seconds here, guys. 20 seconds already, and there we go. About 24 seconds there, I think. So it did exactly what we asked. GPT 3.5, Turbo, Gemini 1 Pro, all the models prior to GPT-4, because GPT-4 is pretty good. It will do this for you as well. And again, I go back to the fact that GPT-4 doesn't have this window size, and this Gemini 1.5 Pro is much smaller than GPT-4, and outputs are output is really good. It really reasons through the entire document. So now what I want to do is we're actually going to I'm going to refresh this. I'm going to pull in a file that has, it's done that. I'll do this. It's a PDF of 5 slides of 5 pages, but this is mainly charts and tables, right? So in the last 4 documents, it was mainly text. So I want to see if it can reason through this kind of things, right? So non-interest expense, I'll ask a question around that. Let's see if it can understand how to go through charts and tables and reason through those things. So the question I'm going to ask is, what was the change? What was the change in non-interest expense from 4Q22 to 1Q23 in dollars? Okay, so it'll probably take 10-15 seconds. So let me show you. So it means that it will have to get to the right page where the document talks about non-interest expense, and then says, okay, well, I need to figure out the change from 4Q22 to 1Q23. And non-interest expense is this bar chart, and this figure is 4Q22, 1Q23. So it's a decline of about $150 million. Let's see. It decreased by 153 million. And okay, it tells you where it got it from and how it calculated, one minus the other, etc. So, guys, this is really good. I mean, actually, I've tried this with GPT-4 Turbo. It gave me the answer and basically said I took this minus this. This guy actually gives a little more detail. Really, really impressed. All right, so next, what I want to do is because this is a multimodal model, let's load up an image. Let's go through this one image here. I'm trying to highlight what's possible here and how good it is. So this guy here is basically this. This is my handwriting. I wrote this equation. We're asking, or so it's going to have to read this picture, this image, and figure out it's a derivative, and we're going to ask it to solve this. And in doing that, it's going to have to reason through, because it's going to have to figure out that in order to solve this, it's got to apply the chain rule. All right, so let's ask it to solve this. Solve the problem in the image. Provide the reasoning behind your answer. All right. It takes another 10-12 seconds. And I've been playing around with it. It's actually this guy's better. So it's better. Somehow it got cut off here. I don't know what happened. But the answer is 20x to 2x squared minus 5 raised to the 4. Yep, that's the right answer. Somehow the error got cut off and completely finished its thought. But it said this is found using the chain rule. So it did figure it out. What I was going to say was my observation over the last few days has been that Gemini 1.5 Pro, its vision model, or that part of their multimodal function, the vision, the image reading, I find it's better than GPT-4 Vision. So that's my opinion, and I actually have put it to test, and it does pretty good. It's actually I found it to be better overall than GPT-4 Vision model. And let's see what I want to do next. We're going to, because it's a video also, right? So why not? Let's upload a video. Load this little video I have set up here. Oh, I know what I did. Sorry, I'm supposed to go to video and then upload it. All right, browse. All right, so this is a video I did about a week and a half ago. It's one of my YouTube videos where I was showcasing an app that I had built that goes and scrapes the website's content. The user provides the URL. My app goes and scrapes the content from that website and then applies a large language model to answer questions about the content in that website, etc. So it's about 2 minutes, 53 seconds long, etc. So here's the question we're going to ask. Say, go through the entire video. Go through the entire video and summarize the content of the video. All right, let's see what it does. Now it's a multimodal model, so you can submit image, video, documents, whatever, right? It's multimodal. In this case, though, one of the limitations here is that it only takes the video, not the audio that goes with my video here, right? So it's actually going to have to, and I'll tell you, what it does under the hood. Under the hood, video shows how to use a LangChain library to create a chatbot that can answer questions about a website. Yep, the chatbot is just open to. That's wrong, Aiden. That's not correct. Although I had one of the pages I scraped was about OpenGPT, so that's incorrect. It generates human-like text. Okay, so it got the gist of it. I'm telling you, it's very good, wickedly good, actually. So what happens is the way this works is under the hood, it takes my video and it chops it up into milliseconds worth of frames. So this video is chopped up into, in this case, let's say 100, 200 frames, each like milliseconds long. And it reads each of those frames one by one by one. And then it puts it, based on my question, it goes through each of those frames and it says, okay, let me stitch it all together and see what this video might be about. Now, if it could read, if it had the audio along with the video, it would actually, then I'm sure would give me an exactly, on point answer. But without that, it did a really good job. So a bunch of files, an image, video, an overall impression that I have of Gemini 1.5 Pro. It is darn good. It is as good as GPT-4 Turbo and better when it comes to image. And GPT-4 Turbo today cannot take a video as an input, so obviously it's better when it comes to feeding videos. So guys, hey, if you're new to the channels, please subscribe. Please like this video. Hopefully you found this useful and interesting. And in my take on Gemini 1.5 Pro, it is wickedly good. Until next time.